It's a lot of old wine in a slightly new bottle, meaning Lagarde, ECB President Lagarde, had promised us really a crispier communication. That was not very crispy. But in terms of the substance, what the ECB delivered was becoming more dovish. So in short, it means that interest rates will remain extremely low for even longer than initially anticipated. And at the same time, any end to the asset purchases is not in sight.
So do you think it's doing enough to stimulate activity and inflation?
Well, I personally think that the ECB is doing enough, because when you look at the last 10, 12 years, the ECB never made its inflation target of back then close to but below 2%. So now this inflation target was slightly revised upwards to 2% with symmetry around it, so which means that the ECB should actually do even more to reach 2%. The only question is, can monetary policy alone really bring inflation back to 2% if there are so many factors driving inflation which are out of the remit of a central bank and the ECB in general? So I think we are having extremely loose monetary policies, and I would have rather heard the ECB talking a very gradual end to this ultra loose monetary policies rather than actually promising that this will not end at all, and may even keeping the door open for more stimulus.
And what does this all mean for its pandemic support program? How long do you think the economic support measures will have to continue for?
Yeah, on the pandemic emergency purchase program, Lagarde really tried not to say a lot. The only thing that she said was, we didn't discuss it. I hope they did, in all honesty. This program runs until March 2022. But with everything that the ECB announced today, it, in my view, looks as if this program will be extended beyond March 2022, which also then means that we will see only a very gradual reduction of monthly asset purchases by the ECB next year, and not as much as most analysts have been looking for.
Europe has, of course, been hoping for a strong economic recovery this summer, but how much has the rise in COVID-19 cases put paid to that?
It's too early to tell, in all honesty. The rise in the Delta variant and new cases is still very limited in most European countries. We've seen over the last 18 months that particularly the manufacturing industry has become more immune to social distancing restrictions. So what we've seen is that even if governments were to reintroduce social distancing right now, the economy will hardly suffer. If there are economies which are going to suffer, it will be the Southern European economies, because they are highly dependent on tourism. And if now the rise of infections means that countries will close their borders again, that traveling will become more complicated, and we're still looking for August, one of the main months of the summer vacation period for Southern European economies, this could be a severe hit to the southern part